Welcome back. We have looked at which nonlinear spaces are locally compact, and we have characterized the finite dimensional nonlinear spaces are the locally compact spaces. So in that connection, there is another important approximation property, something very special. So let's start with the question that you have, say, a nonlinear space. Okay, first let's. So schematically, let us consider a nonlinear space. I'm drawing schematically the Euclidean R2, and you are given with a subspace. And then if you give a point outside of it, we know how to find out the distance from that point to this space. And we have already learned in the Hilbert space case, it's much more nicer property. We are now looking at given such a subspace. Okay, can we have a vector outside of this space which is of the distance that I want? Okay. For example, maybe it looks like that I can keep them as away as they want, but if you allow the vector to be wherever you want. But specifically considering the unit ball, so can I have a unit vector on this circle? Can we have a point which is as away as possible? At least in this picture wise, it tells you that I can consider a vector. I can consider maybe a vector on this sphere, unit sphere, which is of, if the radius is 1, maybe I can get it's 1 unit away. So I can get such a thing. Notice that this problem is very easy in the case of Hilbert space. So if given with H a Hilbert space, so given a Hilbert space and say this Y a closed proper subspace. See, otherwise you cannot find out a vector of 1 unit away. If this is the whole space, then the distance between a point and then a point in the space is always 0. So Y is a closed proper subspace of the Hilbert space H. Then we are asking the question, does there exist a unit vector in H such that the distance from this U and this subspace is actually 1? And the answer is easy from the discussion we had on Hilbert spaces. If Y is a closed proper subspace, then we know that we can always write it as direct sum of Y and Y perp if it is a closed proper subspace of a Hilbert space. And now I take a vector U from, so let U belongs to Y perp, and you take unit vector, then this will do the work. Why is that? So let's find out what is the distance between U and Y. That's by definition, it is the infimum of distance from U and any Y such that Y is coming from. But what is this by definition? It is a norm of U minus Y. This is straightforward, but I am just writing for the sake of clarity. So what is this norm? It is inner product of U with Y. Okay. And expand this and see that you will get inner this square root, of course. Now can you see that U have taken from Y perp. So inner product of U with Y will be 0, inner product of Y with U also 0. What remains is inner product of U with U and inner product of Y with Y. But U is a unit vector, so it becomes 1. So what I get is 1 plus norm Y square power 1 by 2. So this is the infimum. And is it clear what will be the infimum? All the elements here are bigger than or equal to 1. So this number is as such is bigger than or equal to 1, and so infimum also will be bigger than or equal to 1. But I can find out a specific vector in y which makes actually equal to 1. That's 0. So this is actually 1. So in the case of Hilbert space, given any proper closed subspace, you look at the orthogonal complement and take a unit vector there, and that will do the work. We may not be able to achieve uh, the same situation in a general nonlinear space uh, compared to Hilbert space, where we have some kind of orthogonality. So the best that we can think of for a general nonlinear space is that you can go pick a unit vector such a way its distance from the subspace is as much big as you want between 0 and 1. So that's the statement of Ries, which says the following. And y be a closed proper subspace. So if you are given a proper closed subspace of a nonlinear space X, so given a positive number R between 0 and 1, there exists a unit vector in X such that the distance from this U to the subspace is bigger than R. Pictorially it says is that the old same picture we can take. If you are given with such a subspace Y, and this is your original space X, this is closed and proper, then you can find out a vector, say U, on the unit sphere such that the distance from U and Y, okay, so this will be bigger than R, okay, will be bigger than 1. We may not be able to achieve such a white line, but surely we'll be able to get a yellow point U, and the distance from U to Y is bigger than R. That means I can take an element on the unit sphere as far as I want. Of course, the maximum that I can go is U1, but I can go as close to that as I want. That's what the Ries lemma says. Okay, so let's get into the proof. So first, let's start arbitrarily an X, and outside of this Y. So start with some element X, and then look at what is the distance between this X and the subspace Y. Okay, that is nothing but, by the definition, infimum of distance between X minus Y, X and Y, such that Y is from this space. Okay. I'll call this for the timing as delta. Now I'll create this U using this X. Okay, so first thing that I want to notice is the following, that somehow I will be exploiting the infimum property, but since delta is the infimum, remember every place that we exploit the infimum is the following way. If delta is the infimum, delta plus epsilon will not be infimum, and so you will have an element smaller than that. And in this case, we are not going to do that. Since the R is given to be between 0 and then, we'll use delta and R to get a number bigger than delta. So the choice is using the delta and R. Since R is smaller than 1, and if I divide this R by delta, if I divide the delta by R, then that becomes bigger than. So use this as r is given to be smaller than 1, this delta by r is strictly bigger than delta. And now I use the definition of infimum to exploit this fact. Okay. So since delta by r is bigger than delta, there exists a say y naught from y such that the norm of x minus y naught is less than, strictly less than delta by r, and it may be bigger than or equal to delta. So this is what we get using the definition of infimum. Now the choice is so consider the u to be this x minus this y naught divided by x minus y naught now. Okay. Because I am looking for a unit vector, then norm u is 1. Okay. And it is also clear that it cannot be in y. Now all I need to find out is that what is the distance between u and the space y. So start with arbitrary element y and find out the distance. By definition, it is x minus y naught by norm of x minus y naught minus y. But notice that I can write this same as norm of x minus y naught minus means dividing and multiplying by norm of x minus y naught. Okay. And this is a norm, so I can push it out, so I get 1 by norm of x minus y naught. And what remains is x minus y naught minus norm of x minus y naught times y. Notice that y is any element and y naught is such an element. And observe the following fact, that y naught is also an element of y and y is also an element of y, and hence excluding the x, all other elements, these are all element of y. And hence is that clear that this is distance from x and y multiplied by 1 minus x minus y naught. Now all that I need to check is, since norm of x minus y naught is less than delta by r, 1 minus x naught is bigger than r by delta. So this is bigger than r by delta. But what is this distance between x and y? That's what we denoted as delta. So if I substitute delta, I get r. So distance between y and u, y is any vector in y, is bigger than r. Hence, so infimum of all such numbers has to be, so the distance from this unit vector to the y is bigger than or equal to r. Okay. We can make it to be strictly bigger than r also, because all I need to do is that if I want to show it is bigger than r, I will take a r dash which is smaller than this, and for that it will be still bigger than. So I can get strictly bigger than. Okay. So the claim is proved that you can always get a unit vector of whatever distance away that you want. from the given proper closed subspace. One important consequence is something that we have already established. We can prove the following, that the unit ball, the closed unit ball, is not compact in infinite dimensional space. Nonlinear space. How do we achieve this? Remember, given a proper closed subspace, you get a vector outside which is of unit length, and it is away from as much away as you want, of course between 0 and 1 from the subspace. So using this fact, how do we show that the unit ball is not compact? Idea is easy. A characterization of the compact set is, if you give me a bounded sequence, it should have a converging subsequence. So if we could get a bounded sequence which doesn't have a converging subsequence, then it proves that the closed unit ball is not compact. Okay, so the proof is, our observation is immediate. Then all it says now, if I want to use the Rees lemma number of times again and again, I will search for closed subspaces, and Rees lemma guarantee a unit vector outside of it. Let X be infinite dimensional. Consider our aim is to produce proper closed subspaces, and Rees lemma will guarantee a unit vector outside of it. So let's start with U1, a unit vector, and consider Y1 as span of U1. Then by Rees lemma, there exists U2 such that the distance between U2 and this subspace Y1 is bigger than 1 by 2. This I can get it. Now what next to be done is clear, that I will consider Y2 as span of U1 and U2. This is also proper and closed subspace because it's finite dimensional. Then there exists U3 such that the distance between U3 and Y2 is bigger than 1 by 2. Now by this induction we can go on Yn, which is span of Y1, Y2 up to Yun. Then there exists Un plus 1 such that distance between Un plus 1 and Yn is bigger than 1 by 2. Notice that all these Uns are unit vectors. So the choice is clear that what I should consider. Okay. So we claim by induction you will always get this Yn spaces, and that's possible because X is infinite dimension. There is always an element outside of it. So we claim the sequence Un is bounded and does not have convergent subsequence. Okay, that in fact we will achieve by showing that the distance between any two elements here is bigger than a particular constant, and hence you cannot even have Cauchy subsequence, and so you cannot have a convergent subsequence. So for that, let's consider M and N. M is a smaller number and N is much bigger. I will try to, first we'll try to estimate what the distance between say UM and UN. We'll look at, since M is less than N, we can observe the following, that your Ym is contained in Yn. Now notice that by our construction, Un un will not be in yn minus 1 because it's coming at the un minus 1 stage. So notice that yn minus 1 is span of un up to un minus 1. Then there exists a un which is actually outside, such that the distance between un and yn minus 1 is bigger than 1 by 2. And since is in and is in ym, so it has to be in yn minus 1 because m is strictly less than n. So m can be at most n minus 1, so at least it will be here. So look at this distance. Now that will be bigger than or equal to distance between un and yn minus 1. This I know it to be bigger than 1 by 2 from our construction. So what we could prove is that if m and n are two natural numbers, m is strictly less than n, then the distance between any two of them is bigger than 1 by 2, and hence un is not even Cauchy, and hence it cannot have a convergent subsequence. But where are these elements are coming from? It's actually coming from the unit ball. In fact, more precisely in the unit sphere itself. So we got as bounded sequence which is not converging, and hence unit ball is not compact. In fact, this is also showing even unit sphere is not compact. So recollect, when this is an equivalent statement that we made locally compact. The unit ball is compact if only if it's finite dimensions. Here we are saying if it is infinite dimensional, its unit ball is not compact. It's the rephrasing the same statement, of course. Now while using this information, now we can think of what happens in the finite dimensional case. So as an exercise, you can check if x is finite dimensional and y is proper closed, then given any r, you can find out such a number. So you can actually consider rn's are converging to 1, and this distance is a continuous function, and so you can actually prove there is a unit vector such that distance between this u and this y is actually 1. Okay. Use the fact that this space is finite dimensional, hence closed unit ball is compact. So you always have an element of whatever distance that you want. Now, so greater than 1 by n's, or let's say 1 minus 1 by n, you can consider, and consider that sequence, and that limit, that's a bounded sequence, so it should have a convergent subsequence. Since the unit ball is compact, it has to hit an element on the unit ball, and from that you have to prove the distance from that point to the space is actually equal to 1. So we'll stop at this stage.